Yeah, I agree. That's my read on today. Just short. I mean, we've been kind of waiting for this, the outcome of the deadline. The deadline happened, and my thought was we don't know how it's going down, but I mean everything is bearish. But was I going to be surprised if we started launching to go long after we had bearish news? No, because that's what's been happening every time we have bearish news. But right now, just seeing the way price action was kind of forming this morning, here where we're just unable to, I was just watching the candles very closely and we're just unable to pick up any momentum for buyers whatsoever. So that's why I hopped in this breakdown right here. Copy that, Adam. Yeah, we got mega bearish news on Iran. I think is, I think we're finally seeing the fallout. I mean, most people anticipated we were going to get no response from Iran, and we had our bullish little moment, over the past few days, or consolidating at the very least. But to me, it seems like we're dumping. Sure. Well, us saying that we're going to destroy a whole civilization, I would say is pretty bearish. We just got confirmation because Iran was not. Well, the breaking news was that we gave them a deadline, and the deadline was yesterday at 8 p.m. So then, obviously, there's developing news overnight, but same, same. I don't know, man. I think it's a very real conflict that's going to have a huge global impact, and so I think that's one of the reasons we're selling off right now. Yeah, I mean, it's been happening for many years, but it's never come to a head like this, at least with Iran. So I don't know. This is one of the headline news is I mean I'm certainly paying attention because I think it has a huge impact on the global economy. FOMC, um, any normal red folder news. Uh, I would say I feel kind of the same way about news. It provides liquidity events, but this is a little different. Lots of buyers here. You can see some absorption here and here. Now we have I would say a pullback. Might be looking at 2460 or above for a potential reentry up here. Frazi, I know you're using the battle map. I might consider reconstructing the battle map with a bearish bias. I'm not sure though. I might try it though, just FYI. Yeah, there we go. 343 contracts. Again, I might be looking up here for a reentry or an ad around 2460, potentially up in this gap. Oh yeah. I mean, look, that's something we got to be ready for too, right? Like, hey, surprise. I just talked to Iran's president. We're pulling out. We've come to an agreement. That's a real possibility, I would say. I think right now it's probably a low possibility because we're taking decisive action right now, but we all know what a Trump candle can look like. So that's why I'm keeping the news close to the chest today. Looks like we're gaining a little foothold here, right? So if you're looking for a reversal, we've got a couple of things lining up, but I would say I'm still I'm still bearish until we start breaking some of these levels, I would say. Like right here. I'm probably bearish the whole day, to be honest. And if it starts going bullish, I probably still won't be buying. You got working 45? Oh, damn, man. Yeah, that's true. The market, I think the market is interesting today. Yeah, London can be tricky, that's for sure. I'm gonna add right here. Hey, what's up, Think on Com? Thanks for the follow and good morning. Exactly, Frazi. Yeah, 980 would be good. Take a look at the higher time frame here as well. Yeah, I think in here could so we're looking at kind of like the midpoint in here. You know, the midpoint in here could be a good target. I think longer term, definitely this low here. But I don't know if we're going to hit that today. I mean, it kind of seems like it's possible. Um, Keeping in mind here, we got a large buyer here, and so are we going to have this area defended? Let's watch 24-22. Still looking like we got kind of bullish structure here. We might be going for a new high here. Monster, is there a difference between one lot and one contract? Lots are typically for Forex, contracts are for futures. Yeah, the lot should be. I mean, yeah, there's going to be a different. Like if you're trading in lots, I wouldn't worry about it. I'm sure one lot equals one contract in futures for Trade C, but I don't use it, so I'm not sure. That's my guess. All right, so getting above this area here, above like 2490, obviously not going to be great. Um, Looking for this to hold under 24,100. But if we start reversing here, could be going for something deeper up here, potentially up here to like 24,180. Could be like the deep pullback before we really start dumping. Oh, Ryan, nice man. That sounds great. This won't be here really that much. Good thing. Yeah, yeah. Today's gonna be wild. I'm guessing. Looking for this 24-100 to hold us down. We do have a passive seller up there at 105. Got stopped out at half my position here, unfortunately. Looking like we're going for a deeper pullback. I'm not gonna also just strike it from the possibilities that we could be reversing to go do something crazy up here. No new news. This would kind of be the next area, this zone I have from 24-133 to 155. Next zone I have to potentially keep us down. Yo, what's up, Real Spook? Good morning. I'm going to add here. I'll keep a tight stop on that two contracts right there. Yo, what's up, Leo? Good morning. We have extreme fear on the fear and greed index. Probably what how you might imagine it to be. It's at an 11. Bombing intensifying, but was good rejection 130. I'm just getting caught up on these messages here. Looks like we could potentially come back up to the value area low. Just watching here if we start crossing over this 24,112. If we do that, might be thinking we got a new high here. What's up, Diamond Boost? Thanks for the follow and good morning. Looking like this is going for a new high here. Either that or consolidation. Yeah, oil might finally be doing what it's supposed to be doing. Let's see. One question. Did something in the US change with like men from 17 to 45 can't leave the country for over 3 months? I don't know. I actually didn't hear that, but that doesn't mean it's not true. That's for sure. Um, I don't know, Frazi, did you hear something about that? Okay, as much as I think today could be nuclear day, I think I might lock myself out. Just hit a short on gold and M&Q. Same time, up like 1,600, biggest day for me in months. Also, don't want Top Step to raise the amount I need to pass. Yeah, 100%, dude. That's the move. And you're probably aren't you maxed out at 1,500, or do you have a larger account? Looking like we might have kind of like a descending consolidation before dumping is kind of what I'm thinking now. Need 3K to pass. I think I'm not sure. You'll have to double check. I thought Top Step had a 50% consistency rule in eval, which would mean 1,500 is the max, but I'm not sure. Yeah. All right, so looks like we're popping up here a little bit. I recreated the battle map. So here, it's got the adjustments for short bias after looking at the news. Oh, true. Thanks, man. Let's see. Oh, I turned it off. That's why. Let's see. Let me get back in there. There we go. Let's try that. Locked yourself out. I'll paper trade with y'all. Nice, man. Hell yeah. That sounds fun. Yep. Same Frazi I added up there. All right. TP is down here. TP1 at least. It's looking like TP1 is going to be the safe take profit if we can get down here around 23,990 ish. A little concerned that we could come up for one more high. Well, I should say at least another high, unless we start dropping here quickly. I'm kind of just looking at this trend line right here and thinking, if that holds, we might get one more high. You know, best case scenario is we don't, and you know we got this little mini consolidation happening right here, and best case scenario is sellers, you know, kind of win this and start pushing down. Monster, how long am I gonna be live for? I think it just depends on how the day goes. Oh yeah, Monster, I know you wanted me to check out something on Discord. Let me pop it up real quick. Okay, copy that. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. Here's a live version you can use if you want to check out how. Okay, nice, man. Let's check it out. Um, just a couple of more. Iran cuts off direct diplomacy with U.S. Bearish. White House denies Washington's intention to use nuclear weapons in Iran. Um, hmm. Still, still bearish is I guess the takeaway. All right, Monster. See you later, man. Um, Iger, I usually get 50K accounts. I got to be honest though, the 20K accounts are pretty appealing. If you look at Tradeify right now, they have 25K accounts, which is like you get $1,000 drawdown and you have to hit 1,500 to get funded. But right now with their deal, they're like $65. Yeah, the 25Ks are pretty damn appealing, not only for the cost, but because you have to get 1,500 and you have 1,000 drawdown versus 2,000 drawdown and having to get 3,000. Oh, 1,250. Okay, copy that. Yeah. Hell yeah, Frazi, let's go. Let's get it. I've really got my whole system in a pretty damn good spot. I spent a lot of the weekend messing with it, and it's it happens pretty frequently that like you'll have a good system going, and then you'll find something that's broken, and you got to fix the whole thing. So I gutted everything in my system, and it's better for it right now. So I'm pretty happy about that. Um, I built like an order flow database from all the order flow data that I'm pulling, and I'm really able to like iterate through um, some really good tests, and I've got my system down to where I've got data in my engine going back to 2008. So I have every single minute candle that happened on NQ from now till 2008. So I can run structural back tests on it. Um, and sometimes it takes a little finagling, but I can basically ask it any question. So I might open it up to you guys, um, on a daily basis if there are strategies that you guys want to test. So for instance, if you wanted to test fair value gap entries, we could do that. I have essentially my system keeps track of fair value gaps on every time frame. It keeps track of a shit ton. But if you wanted to test like previous point of control, as a level, like previous day or weekly point of control as a level, I can test that as well. So I might be doing that, offering that, like as just kind of a fun thing for you guys. Maybe I might, because for the API costs, like for the cost of, because it costs money, it costs me money. So I might just say like, hey, if you want to back test something, just cover the cost of it or something. But it's pretty damn badass. Yeah, overnight swings, it can test everything. It's Yeah, so I'm not specifically talking about the automation right now. What I'm talking about is like like my engine is called Nexus, and the arm of that engine that does back testing is called Synapse. And so Synapse has a huge database going back to 2008, and then a portion of that has order flow. So I'm using all that data to back test different strategies. Um, I can either chop it up for like the last year, the last 2 years, or all the way back to 2008, and it'll iterate through whatever that strategy is. We can give it a, risk to reward, a stop loss at 20 points, and or a stop loss at 50 points and a take profit at 100. I'm thinking about adding here. Went ahead and added one. But yeah, I like that. Anyway, it's very, very cool. Like I can ask it like how well does previous day close VWAP work on the next day if you were to enter when it taps it, coming from below if it's above, for a short as a reversal. And then let's say that we test it with a 50-point stop or 100-point target, or even better, test it for the most optimized stop loss and target placement based on this amount of data, and it'll spit out an answer. I mean, it'll take a while for it to iterate through all the data, but it can back test anything essentially right now. I've kind of built the dream back tester. Or you can even do things like, if London sweeps Asia, uh, look for a continuation after a fair value gap short. Enter at the midpoint of that fair value gap. You can get very, very precise with it. So right now, like right now, the setups that are generated, take into account anything I've back tested that has like a really good success rate. So it, like, as we're generating setups, it'll look at like, okay, what have we back tested? What levels are around us, and what has a high enough win rate to put on here? Yo, what's up, Toms? How we doing, brother? How's the project going? The next thing that I'm probably going to be implementing into the system, for setup generation is including news headlines. So I just manually told, my system to, recreate the battle map with taking into consideration the Iran war escalation. So it went out and looked at the news, digested it, and then gave, different confidence scores and shorts versus longs, and then redid the battle map. So that's something that I can do now, which is great. But it doesn't automatically take into account news headlines as of right now. And it might be something I want to manually do for now, but I'm not sure. But it is cool that I can do that now. Yeah, Iger, I'm kind of seeing that right here that we could come back up for another high here. I might consider, taking some profit right here. Kind of looking like we're gaining a little bit of a foothold for longs here around 2460. What's up, Bubba Gumpy? Thanks for the follow. Nice name. And good morning. Are you trading NQ with us? Yep, Iger. It was kind of after it was the retest. We get a big dump, we got a retest up here, re-entry short. I think we go make a new low now. But this is kind of setting the tone here for the pullback. Before I was looking at these 50% pullbacks. It looks like this is on pace with that, maybe a little higher. This might be like a 66, 75% pullback. Yeah, it looks like a 66% pullback. Toms, yo, what's up? It's going well. It just turned into a dashboard and with a bar for my discipline. Yes, man, I love hearing that, Toms. Might finish this week. Hell yeah, I love that. Nice. So, FYI, Tom's he reached out to me asking about the experience system that I use, like the XP, and I kind of talked him through how to get started on his own, and so it sounds like he's making some really good progress. Fantastic. I love hearing that. OPEC output fell most in decades last month on war, according to a survey. Gavin, thanks for the sub, dude. Appreciate you as always. Oh, thanks, brother. Are you trading? Oh, damn. Okay. You forgot checking the city out. You forgot your laptop. Okay, copy that. Do you mean you forgot your laptop in the city? Like when you went to that ball game? Oh, damn, dude. That sucks. Ugh. Sorry to hear that, man. Hell yeah, Iger. I love that. What kind of stuff are you writing in your journal? Are you keeping track of individual trades or kind of emotional swings? Yeah, this is a pretty nice long here. Everything emotions while trading and reasons for executions. Sometimes when I don't take trades, I write don't why I wanted to take them and didn't, so I can backtest with that as well. Yeah, man, I think journaling is a huge help. It also gives you like the ability to put like a bookmark on your trading, like your setups and things, because you might not, you know, you might not go and see why you missed this trade or why this trade played out the way it did in the moment. But if you journal it, then you can go back and look at it and you can put your entry time and then observe what actually happened. Well, maybe it missed maybe it hit your stop by like 2 points. It hits you and then went in that direction. That should give you that kind of feedback that says, okay, well, on this particular setup, I might need to give it a little more room or just rethink where I'm putting my stops. Yo, thanks, Gavin. Sorry to hear about the laptop, man. Hope you find it. We'll check you later, brother. What made me a lot of problems was not looking on points and looking at how much money is my stop, which kills my trade. Yes, 100%. But this shouldn't happen because you should believe in the setup and you don't get fear only because your stop loss is 250 instead of 75. Yeah. I mean, it's either that and you put your stop loss where it should be and you risk it for the biscuit, but it could be that your stop, needs to be 60 points, 70 points, whatever the case may be. And the only adjustment you need to make is reduce your size a little bit for those wide swinging, like if structurally you should be taking a 60 point, like these, for instance. I got some wide stops here. This one's at 50 points. This is another 50 points up here. And the reason I did that was because structurally it makes sense that we could be pulling back, a good portion of this move. And then up here at the top, I mean, obviously my setup has this is the final stop, and it makes sense, at the high of before we ended up breaking. But that might be the case that the only change you need to make is reducing your size and keeping where the stop should be. Sometimes you're trying to scalp, but my stop was killing me, especially in New York. Yeah, exactly. Like you're trading in the New York session on NQ, and if you got a super tight stop, just you've got to expect you're going to get stopped out a lot. So your win rate is going to go way down. You might be able to size up and if your win rate and risk to reward accounts for it, you might be able to make up those frequent losses. But it's something you got to consider when trading NQ is that a lot of times you're going to get swept out. Like, look at this one right here. That one right here is a prime example of a sweep that could have happened if you're break even on this. All right, so my take profit off of this battle map is right here. So I'm gonna start reducing a little bit. I'll have 2 on as a runner. I think we could keep going down, but I'm taking it off because that's what my data is saying. So I got 2 on as a runner. Now let's keep it going. Next TP, S1 is down here. Also, I think, just kind of based on how we're acting here, we got some absorption. We had some absorption over here. You know, I wouldn't feel bad about taking all my profit off right here either. I think we got a good chance at dumping further, but this was a good trade. So I would not feel bad about taking it all off here. From my entry, it was about 100 points, I guess. And here's what I think is highly possible as we come back up here, potentially up here, but let's say option number 1 is there, option number 2 up here, and then we come back down and break these lows. So it kind of depends. Where is your position? Where's your entry? And are you willing to hold through this pullback? A lot of times I don't love holding through pullbacks that, after I make a nice move like that. I do think the potential is here to dump quite a bit further though, so I think I'm going to hold on to it. If we start looking like we're going to start consolidating, I might pull off the next 50% of my position. Thanks, Toms. Appreciate that, brother. Oil breaking high. Okay. We like that. Yeah. I talked about being able to swing crude oil, but I didn't do anything about it. That sucks. Oh well. Just wanted to throw this out there also. If you're using the battle map, just to make sure that you're not just you, what you want to do is you want to use the battle map to help you um, have confluence that a move could happen here and a move could happen down here, but you want to use your own trading discretion when these levels are here, right? So this level got used previously for a bounce. This level was looking like we were going to reject off it, so to take it short. So as we're approaching this level down here, you might say, well, there's a long setup here, so I'm at the very least going to take some profit, which the take profit was in there, right? Yeah, this take profit was right here. But since this was used for a bounce previously, I'm probably not looking to take a bounce at this level again. So just want to clarify, if you guys are using the battle map, don't just try and blindly take the trades. Make sure that it makes sense for you as well. All right, let's look at this area right here around 23,990. This is, you know, essentially the retest is what I'm looking at right here. If we start blasting off up here, would expect this area to hold. So watching this area, got an inside bar right here. Looking for that to hold. If we don't hold here, potentially going up to here. Pretty big move from a delta standpoint. We definitely got some aggressive buyers here at 990 and up. Also, a lot of activity in here. So it's basically all of this area is highlighted. But lots and lots of activity here that we broke underneath. And I would say this area is probably the most likely to hold. Damn, unfortunately, we got a low volume node up here above this value area low up in here. Would hate to see it get up that high. I think I'm going to hold off on adding up here. If we end up kind of gaining a foothold down here and making a new high, maybe I'll add at the top of this or at the bottom of this. All right. I'm adding right there. That was pretty wild. Kind of the bigger version of what the this one was. Digging the groove. Hell yeah, Frazzy. Yeah, Iger. I mean, this is these are opportunities to add or get back in, is the way I'm looking at it. That's funny, Frazzy. Man, it's kind of what we thought could happen, huh? Yo, what's up, Low Kevs? Thanks for the follow and good morning. Um, Iran being open to talks. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this as far as how it's going to impact our price here. I mean, obviously we saw this shoot up, but I'm not sure if we're done yet. What I'll probably start doing is just tightening my stops right here. Check out houses. Hell yeah, Ryan. Have fun, man, and good luck. And Iger, you thinking about buying a new eval because you only need 200 on this one now? Copy that, dude. If you're feeling confident. And Frazzy, you're flat. The pot maybe made you think we could go up another 200 points. Yeah. I was, even though this is it's sounding like this was a news candle, I was kind of anticipating that a spike up into this area, even if this candle didn't happen or that news announcement didn't happen. But yeah, that was a quick, um, probably people getting out of shorts is my guess. Yeah, would have been. Day is going well. So if we start gaining a foothold here, I might consider closing this early. Looks like we might. It's definitely looking like there could be a possible next squeeze coming up. I'm gonna pull my stop down here. Hey, what's up, GG Ace? Welcome, man. We're trading MNQ right now. Yeah, futures. Mostly NQ with the occasional gold. I wish I was trading CL, which is crude oil. Yeah, what about yourself? Looking like could get popped here. All right, that stopped everything right there. Looks like this could just be a little sweep. I don't know if I'm ready to go right back in, but it looks like this could be a sweep and we could come back down. You're trying to become funded and want to learn and to be efficient. Copy that, man. Well, happy to help any way I can. We got some traders in here doing the same thing, and yeah, man, it's gonna be a long gonna be a long journey. So buckle up. But like I said, happy to help where I can. I've typically got a lot of good advice for new traders, and happy to give it to you as well. Um, Also, I have a Discord, so feel free to join the Discord, and I'm always down to talk offline too. Well, mainly Josh, I was only bearish, but we did receive news that Iran is open to potential negotiations. So, and that's what happened in this candle right here. So we could have a little shift here. So what's my overall bias? I still think bearish, but we might have a little move here that looks like we're going bullish. That's what I would guess. My guess is we still have quite a few people that are short, let's say, large money shorts, that are not going to want to just get out right here. So I think we have a another push down. After that, I'm not sure. I think a lot of today's price action will hinge on getting real time updates on the news with the conflict overseas. Lil Kevs, bye bye. Bye bye. I might be interested in another short up here, considering it. There we go. I'm gonna put on two, and that's probably it. Stop going above this high. if we break above this high and then start gaining footing to go for this value area low, gain this footing above this value area low, I might have to flip my bias. Kind of looking like we want to make a new high here. This is kind of what it's looking like to me, at least. We got strong buyers all up in here, 2460 and above. I can see a little bit of, we got passive sellers at 2462, passive seller down here at 47. Obviously, they're not holding price down, but it could be a longer term accumulation to go short. This is looking like it's going to sweep this high, potentially go up to this value area low. So if I get stopped out of this, I'm gonna watch and just make sure we're not grinding up from here, because this right here is looking a little like a bullish grind. Seeing a little passive support show up here. I'm watching above 73. If we break above 73 with aggressive buyers, looking like I'm going to get stopped out. Does look like the aggressive buyers are kind of chilling out up here a little bit. All right, got stopped out of that. I think I'm going to have to chill and just wait and see what's happening here. Are we going to continue grinding up after that bullish news? I think we'll just have to wait and see. We got a steady increase up to the 0 line is what it's looking like down here. Approaching the 0 line on CVD and might anticipate a reaction up here. You can see anytime we approach the 0 line over here, we bounced off it, bounced off it, bounced off it. So that might be something to watch for, hitting this 0 line, and it might happen up here, which would probably lead to me going short again. So let's see if we can get up here to 140. That might be a good entry. Little support down there at 2464. You want me to play this song? Is that what it is? Let me see. Yes. I love it. I love AI songs. I don't know if you guys have remember my AI song, but I got a pretty good one too. I'm going in. It was the setup I wanted. It just needed a flush first, it looks like. um, check out this. It was this right here. Approaching that 0 line, and then this huge sell off right here with cumulative volume delta that dropped like 3,000 points in a couple of candles. Hey, what's up, Marlon? Markets up or down? What do you think in regards to what's going on now with war? I'm definitely not bullish yet. I know we just got a little bit of bullish news, but I'm not bullish yet. And I guess maybe one of the ways that I'm looking at it is like a lot of times when we have these biases and high impact news events, it can take a little bit for the market to turn, right? So like if we're bearish, we might have a few days of going up before we start coming down. So I look at the market more like a brontosaurus than I do a velociraptor. And so if we just had a huge repositioning to go short, and that's the price action we were seeing this morning. And obviously, take this with a grain of salt because this is just how I feel about it. We had a huge repositioning to go short after Iran, didn't hit the deadline in response to opening up the Strait of Hormuz. So we had a huge repositioning, and for that repositioning to unwind, like if we get a bullish candle or we get bullish news, we might get a bullish candle, but I think it's going to take a while for us to unwind from that. And in addition to that, I'm just not sure if anything's going to come out of having conversations with Iran at this point this quickly. I could be wrong. But essentially what I'm looking at is if everybody who was positioned short unwound their short position, this candle wouldn't have done this. It would have done this. More like this, probably. So I'm still short. But again, I could be wrong. When would I sell gold? Honestly, I don't know if I would sell gold. I mean, this does look a little bearish here. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure, man. I don't know if I can give you a good answer on that. You got to be able to rely on your analysis. If I was trading gold, I just don't know if I'm bearish on gold right now. Silver sold off, but gold did not. And that's interesting. Alper, thanks for the follow. And good afternoon. Oh, thanks, Alper. Appreciate that. Are you trading NQ or MNQ? That's what we're trading right now. Alper, you trade H-Coin with your AlgoBot. Nice, man. I would love to hear more about your AlgoBot if you're willing to share. I've got I've got a system I'm building right now for NQ. How, I guess, first of all, how is your bot doing? And what kind of setups do you take with your algo? It sends buy signal to Vels Finance. Vels Finance has my Binance API key. It creates trades. Nice. Yeah, just wondering what kind of signals you are looking for to take buys. So right now, I'll start by sharing what I'm trying to work on right now is that I download all order flow data. So like, mm, everything you see here, I download continuously throughout the day, and then I analyze all these levels and create like a master level sheet. And then I have a big back testing system that can back test against order flow data and also candlestick data. That's essentially searching for different types of edges. For instance, like an overnight low sweep, stuff like that, and it will test, millions of lines of data. And then right now, as it stands, I create this, and you can check this out. So it generates that, but I also have a live um, data feed being analyzed for potential setups as well. So I'm trying to create an automatic trading system, but it's dynamic, not based on just strictly like structural mechanical signals, if that makes sense. EMA bullish, EMA 9, greater than, okay, yeah. So short term momentum, yep. RSI not overbought, okay, yep. Consecutive ups, at least 3. Nice, dude. Okay, cool. That sounds cool. Iger, you don't know if I should reshort after value or your low rejection. It tries to tap into it for a third time. Yeah, it might tap into it for a third time. I've got a super wide stop on this. I think we definitely could get a third run higher. Yeah, Alper. I love the yeah, I love that you're thinking about automating stuff. I love it. That's the next kind of project I'm working on. Okay, copy that. Nice. Yo, what's up, Lil Niggy? Thanks for the follow and welcome. You made 1K with Pump Fund, but it's 2 months ago. Copy that. Iger, you were trading Bitcoin for a while, weren't you? Or no? Just gold? Okay, okay. Thought so. Hoping pretty soon we get a nice dump. Looks like sellers might have control right here, but let's see if we just come back down and get stuffed right here again. Ideally, we can break this low right here around 2450 and start digging in down here. Considering the bullish news that we had, instead of me being bullish, I think the compromise might be that we could see a consolidation in here. If we start having, big boys start de-risking, it would look like a big consolidation in here, I think. Yep, I agree. I think you're right about that, man. All right. Not ready to go yet. Maybe we get another retap up here. I also don't want to oversell, everybody being short on this. I think you guys gotta make your own decisions on how you feel about the market. I feel short on it still, but that doesn't mean you guys have to. Feel free to fade me. Yeah, Alper, I traded gold very successfully when it was at all-time highs, and then after it came down from all-time highs, had to shift the strategy and ended up, wiping out some of my gains. Gold was super hot for a minute though. Once you start hearing your friends that aren't traders talking about things, that's usually the time to get out of it. Stop trading it. Looking like we're going for a new high here, unfortunately. We're getting big pump candles here. I don't know if it's changing my bias. I think if we start breaking above here and the VWAP, that's probably when my bias will change. Alper, let me show you. I kind of just started redoing my system. Let me show you what the results are right now. I look at the back testing in a couple different ways, Alper. I look at what I call session dynamics, And then I look at order flow, and then I look at structural, like open, high, low, close candles. So I've done testing on like sweeps, like if you're looking at candle range theory. I do tests on like volumetric data, so we're looking at like value area low, value area high. But I think one of the things that makes my back testing unique for the time being is trying to pair those findings with session dynamics, which means like looking at the sequence of events and biases that happen over a period of time. So let's say you have a bullish Thursday and then you have a bearish Friday. And then on Sunday night, overnight, you're bearish. And then let's say the AM session on Monday is bearish. So looking for these sort of patterns within like having a directional bias or a directional outcome in these particular sessions, and then pairing that with your back tested results, a lot of times, at least for me, will enhance the edge of whatever that back tested result is. So let me pull this up, and this will. So here, these particular setups have, different profit factors. So it's not all one strategy. So like I said, a lot of these are dynamic, right? It is not static, correct. So that's why I was saying my automated system is going to be dynamic based on what's available. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm gathering a bunch of data, trying to find edges, and then I'm combining them. So, a setup might only happen once every 4 weeks for one setup when everything aligns, but it has a very high win rate. Looking like this could squeeze again. I might have to start abandoning this short idea. Oh, thanks, Alper. Appreciate that, man. We just crossed over the 0 line on cumulative volume delta. So we could be looking at a breakout situation, or if this a sharp reverse down here. But crossing over this 0 line is kind of a big deal. Oh yeah, a 1% a day would be phenomenal. And then you're compounding. Looking like buyers, buyers, buyers only. That's unfortunate. I just took out my funded profits for the day. Looking like we're going for VWAP right now. Looking like we might have a shift here based on that news. This is kind of what I was expecting to see if people are really unwinding their bearish positions. I don't know if we got new news or this is just based on Iran saying they're open to having conversations, but wasn't expecting this. Not sure what to expect here. We're messing around here at the value area high. Yeah, crude oil dumping. Again, I don't think this makes any sense right now, except for, unless you're just believing we're reacting this quickly off of the Iran saying they'll have conversations, which I guess is probably the case. But now we are positive on CVD. And I think it's still a possibility that we get back under this zero line on CVD and start dumping. I think it's a possibility, but I'm not gonna act on it right at this second. Yesterday we had a CVD dump as well. Just wanted to go back to that. No, was it Sunday? I was last night, overnight, I think is what it was. Yeah. So right here, look at this zero line. You see when we cross back over it right here? Then once we cross back under it, we dump. So still seeing that as a possibility here. I'm going to give it one more try, I think. Yeah, many people don't think about compounding. Yeah, if you're doing 1%, it's compounding every day. All right, so let's see how we react up in this around 140. We got the cumulative volume delta coming back down to the zero line. Let's see what happens at the zero line. Do we see a bounce reaction here at the zero line? Or do we bust through it and then start dumping? This is actually a setup I've been testing. It's a sweep of the zero CVD line and then coming back underneath it, essentially. Sweep and reclaim. This is where we'll start to see support if buyers are really just kind of letting this thing come down and then they're going to take over control again. This is probably the area they would do it. You can see buyers are still present here around 155. I'm seeing them pop up. We've got a passive seller at 24,168 and another one up here at 24,225. So we got a little stair stepping down from passive sellers, potentially holding price down. 168, right where my price is we got a passive seller there. So ideally, if we come back up to my price, we get a rejection and price gets held down. But if we start getting aggressive above my price right here at 168, could see another squeeze. Watching this area very carefully, just to see, are buyers really going to be holding price up from here and then getting aggressive above this 168? Coming up to 168, let's see if price gets held down here or if we start getting aggressive above it. Seeing a little bit of support here at 162. Okay, we're below 162. That's a good sign. Back above it. So we're teeter-tottering on that support right there at 162. I see some aggressive buyers kind of looking like they're ready to push this thing up. So again, watching 168 is kind of a pivot point for me. Not just because of my price, but because of what's on the order flow right here on the footprint. Don't want to see. So, okay, let's look at what we did previously. We make this big push up on that bullish news. We come back down. We don't take the low of that candle, and then we just start grinding up. We don't want to see that same thing here. We want to see the low of this candle get taken out, and I would say this candle as well. If we start looking like we're grinding up, I got to be out of this. Whoopsies. Looking like we might be doing that grind thing. Hey, what's up? Eddie loves me. Yo, what's up, D-Draw? Long time no see, man. Yes, it was better, but dug into my profits here, trying to take this short from down here. And I might be offsides on this again. Let's see. I'm kind of worried about this grinding up and then basically doing the same thing that we did here. Grind up and then pull back and then take that high. So worried about this happening. I mean, you would think when, that's how we're talking that, going short on that would make sense. But apparently it can all be erased if Iran says they're open to talking. And we should be ready for that too. I might have to exit this and wait until we have some more confirmation. Right now, it's only bullish. I think I'm going to close this. Confirmation for me, I think, would be this CVD, this cumulative volume delta coming down and going below zero. Um, yeah, T Drive. I mean, as it relates to strategies, this is one that I've been back testing. I can't get up the cumulative volume delta now. This is one I've been back testing. Just using the cumulative volume delta zero line as a pivot. And then I've got a whole lot of logic going into the setups I'm creating with my battle map that I've adjusted. So I'm doing a ton of back testing right now with a ton of data. And it takes a while. You got to mine, you've got to really put some effort into consistently going after new edges. And so that's kind of what I'm doing right now. But as far as like the way I'm trading, I'm still trading the same. I'll keep an eye on this CVD. Right now, it's kind of looking like we're grinding up. The Bitcoin mining, dude. I'll tell you what, I used to mine Bitcoin, and I should have never stopped. Like when it was a little bit newer, um, I was doing it, and it was resulting in basically mining at the time. Maybe I could mine something like $10 worth of Bitcoin a day or something like that. And obviously, it started going down, but then that was before it had the huge pump. Um, I should have kept doing it. Nah, man, nothing like that. I didn't mind enough of it for it to actually make a difference. Those are some pretty big pumps right there. 60 points, 70 points. I don't know. It's looking very bullish right now. Let's see what happens right here. It's looking like there was a little bit of a shift right here. Let's see if we break that high or if we start getting bearish from here. I'm going to try again. Another short here. Looking like we might squeeze again. I might have to, I might even just stop for the day. Like I'm trying to take this short, and my bias, I can tell, is controlling my decisions right now. And I think I'm wrong on the bias. I think we're starting to unwind these short positions. And it was we might be going bullish now. Yeah, these days are crazy. Um, Obviously, everything was short until we got that little news update that said that Iran is open to talking, and now it looks like we're shifting. It's not what I was expecting. Iran talks show glimmer of progress as deadline looms. Wow. Glimmer of progress. Kind of looked like we could do this and then go for a new high. Kind of what it did here. Guys, you know what? I think I'm gonna shut it down. I'm finding myself getting frustrated about this kind of switch up that we had. Not able to read the market very well right now, and I have the inclination to go short on this, and I know I shouldn't. So I think I got to get away from the charts. Um, Good day, except for the trying to short this after that bullish news. But hope you guys were able to stay safe. And if you're going to continue to trade this, be careful because a lot of it's hinging on what stupid news we might get um, that might reverse this whole short move. So in any case, yeah, I'm going to get off for the day. If I see anything good on the charts, maybe I'll take it. But for now, I'm just feeling like I need to walk away, go get some fresh air, and take it easy. Had a good day, but kind of ruined my funded profits. No big deal. I just want to make sure I'm not like trying to aggressively get them back. So anyway, guys, have a fantastic day. I'll be on tomorrow. So I'll see you guys then. Peace out.